This isn't wild camping. Stop calling it wild camping. You're not wild camping, you are an hour. This is awesome. Makes such a nice change not to have to pitch late and leave early. Found a nice little, well, not found, there's a nice little flat area here for the tent. Got loads of time. Just gonna get kettle on, have a bit of grub, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about wild camping, what it really is. Is it a thing? First proper test as well for the fire maple petrol, but I'm using it with the Soto Windmaster stove. Perfect. So up until about 12 years ago, I'd never heard of wild camping. It was just camping. And that was something that did when we were kids, on back gardens and things like that. Stuff that the scouts did, or what people did for a cheap holiday in Skegness or Inglemells. Yeah, I didn't really know that people did this for a hobby, where they'd pitch their tent up on the hills or the mountains or in the woods like we are today. But over the last 10 years or so, I've pitched my tent in loads of different places around England, Wales and Scotland. Peak District, Snowdonia, Brecon Beacons, as well as countless bushcrafty kind of trips where I've been camping in the woods, be that with a hammock, a tent or a bivvy bag. That was quick. So today I'm just on my doorstep. Walked it less than 10 minutes. Couldn't get everything in my backpack, so carried the tent and a few things in a carrier bag. It doesn't matter. So I'm bound to get one comment at least that says that this isn't wild camping. Even when I'm up in the Lake District or the Peak District, I might be up on a mountain, but people say, stop calling it wild camping. You're not wild camping, you are an hour away from your car. So I've done a little bit of reading up on it, and I thought we could have a little chat about it today. So I'm out in the Goat tonight, the old Banshee 200. There is a path just up there, so I did want something that is a little bit low profile, and I didn't want to come out in something too valuable, because where is it? Yeah, there's little bits of glass and stuff like that. There's plenty of room in there so I can take my gear inside the tent with me. What do you reckon to the kitchen? Just things that's lying about. I don't know whether to make a little permanent kitchen area. Some kind of bench or table. This is all from where the tent was. By the way, if anyone wants to get their hands on a full wild camping setup, I am raffling off a full kit including 4-season tent, backpack, sleeping bag, stove, pretty much everything you need to get started anyway. I'll put a link in the description and in the pinned comment. It's mid-afternoon and I'm not had out to eat yet. I'm having a go at that intermittent fasting malarkey. Stopped eating and drinking 8 o'clock last night. That's my first coffee of the day. And I've got something, what's it called? I wrote it down. I wanted paella, but they didn't have it. This is from Lidl. Nasi goreng. Apparently it's an Indonesian rice dish with pork, eggs and rice. Oh, and leeks. So we'll see what that's like. I've forgotten my oil, so hopefully it doesn't stick in this pan. Let's get the stove fired up. I've swapped over to the 4 flex on the stove. That's why I like the Windmaster. You can get a 4 flex for wider things like this pan, and then the tri-flex, which saves you a little bit of weight, but it fits the bottom of this pot. So yeah, get this in there. Hoping that there's a bit of fat in this. Right, I need a minute. I just want to quickly thank Squarespace, who sponsored the video today. If you don't know who Squarespace are, they are the #1 place to go if you want to have a go at building a website by yourself. It's really easy to do. You don't need any experience in web design or coding. You just simply choose one of their ready-made templates, upload your own photos, add some text, and just drag things around a little bit, and then within a couple of hours we had a website built. I've been using Squarespace for around 6 years for promoting a YouTube channel, selling merchandise, used camping gear, things like that. There's loads of other different features as well, such as email marketing campaigns or newsletters, whereas Jo uses her website for selling her artwork and paintings. So if you fancy having a go yourself, you've got nothing to lose. Just simply click the link in the description below or head over to squarespace.com/Paul Messner. You'll get a totally free trial, and when you're ready to go live, you'll get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So big thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring the channel in 2025. There we go. One of the beauties of being close to home, you can take extra stuff, you can take fresh stuff. Well, it's starting to sizzle a bit already anyway, and there is fat in the food, so I don't think it's going to stick or burn. So here's a question for you. What does wild camping mean to you? Answers in the comments below. I've done a little bit of research, like I said. I had a look on the dictionary, dictionary.org or dictionary.com, and I got their definition of what wild camping is, and it differs depending on whether you're in the UK or whether you're, well, we'll go on to the USA in a minute. Start with camping. What do you think camping means? And according to the UK, the definition of camping is the activity of staying in a tent on holiday, and which is quite specific if you ask me, but surely this is camping as well, isn't it? Camping in the woods or sleeping in a tent in the woods. But in the USA, it means camping is the act of staying and sleeping in an outside area for 1 or more days and nights, usually in a tent. So I think I prefer the American version because it's a little bit more vague. It covers more activities, more types of shelter, things like that. Well, this is starting to warm up nicely. Turn that down to proper simmer. So then I went and I had a look for wild camping on the same dictionary page, and for the UK, wild camping is an activity of camping equals staying in a tent on land that does not have any services and is not part of an official camping site. So that covers things like a woodland with no facilities with it, covers a hill, a mountain, doesn't specify that you have to walk 20 miles to do it. You can literally just get out your car, pitch your tent at the side of the road, and you are wild camping. It just says in a tent though. So, but I'm assuming, I'm going to take it for granted that a bivvy or a hammock or just laying on the ground is exactly the same. But then I looked for the American version of wild camping, and they don't really have it. It's just camping for them, and it covers lots of different things. And thinking about it, camping's just camping, isn't it? Doesn't matter where you are. You're in your tent or your hammock or whatever it is you're doing, and you're spending the night outdoors amongst nature with some kind of nylon or some other fancy material that is just keeping the elements away from you. It's getting out of the house and spending the night under the stars. I'm going to call that done. What do you reckon? It's nice. Nasi goreng. It's quite salty. Not bothering with a plate, we'll just eat out of the pan. So I'm relatively new to this wild camping game in the grand scheme of things. Only been doing it for 10 or 12 years. But some of the guys that I speak to that have been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years have said that wild camping, the term, is quite a relatively new thing. It used to just be camping or backpacking or just going off on an adventure. So I found an article written by Chris Townsend. Printed it out. Got one of these little thingy printers for Christmas that just connects to your phone. It's really good for just notes. Yeah, what's in a name? Wild camping, backpacking, backcountry camping, bivouacking. So Chris has been backpacking and camping for years and says that wild camping sort of became trendy around 30 years ago. But there's one paragraph that says it all really. So whatever it is you're doing, walk into the wilds with your camping gear on your back, pitch your tent, sleep, pack your tent, move on. What are you doing? Backpacking, wild camping, or something else? The name shouldn't really matter. It's the actual activity that counts, which is spot on. As long as you're getting out there, enjoying yourself, you're not hurting anybody, you're not leaving any trace. It doesn't matter what you call it. Although here in England and Wales, and I'd say there's only certain parts of the Highlands of Scotland that we can call wilderness, but it's not like you're walking for days and days without finding a town or a village. The Peak District, you can just walk in 5 or 10 miles in any direction and you will come across some sort of civilization. So it's not really wild, is it? But am I still going to call it wild camping? It's just what we say here in England, isn't it? Or in the UK. So let me know in the comments what you think the true definition of wild camping is. And what do you call this activity of pitching your tent on an unofficial campsite where you've got no services or facilities? Is it backpacking, bivouacking, roughing it? I'd be interested. Even though I'm not far from home, the city is a stone's throw away, so it's not necessarily wild. So there's another trend at the moment, stealth camping. So people go camping in roundabouts and in McDonald's car parks and things like that. And it's really popular on YouTube and things like that. It doesn't appeal to me, to be honest with you. I do it for the, what's the word? The solitude and to be a bit closer to nature. I don't do it for the thrill of not getting caught. That must be what it's for. Can I get away with it? Let me know if you do stealth camping as well. Anyway, I don't think it matters. As long as you, whatever you call it, as long as you're getting out and enjoying the outdoors, You're not hurting anybody, you're not making a mess or leaving all your rubbish around and things like that. Doesn't matter what it's called, whether it's wild camping or not, does it? What a gorgeous afternoon. We've got around 2 hours until the sunset. It's going to be cold. It's going to drop to 2 degrees, but we're not going to get any rain. Right, I'm going to put up some wood for my fire pit. Enjoy the rest of my evening. Bit of solitude. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.